When?
Right now.
When?
Right now.
When do you want me to start? Just let me know.
I hate you.
Yeah, whenever. Welcome to Rick and Morty Cast. I'm Morty. He's Rick, but not really.
That did not land.
Yeah.
Unlike,
Yeah, that's true.
Unlike Jerry on his mother. I'm getting a little sussed out with all the incest. Just a little bit.
It's only been a little bit.
I'm getting a little.
That article you sent me that was like, Rick and Morty finally gets incest right. I was like, ah, yes, finally. We've been waiting. That's what everyone's waiting for.
This is why I don't like to watch this show anymore. Except the 500 people that I've watched the last two podcasts in the last 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What was the last episode we covered?
So we're now halfway through season 6.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Nick Family and this one, which is Final Deathsmithation.
I can't. Oh, that fucking joke was like, it can't be that hard to find his mother. Last name Smith. Fuck.
Yes. Damn it. That was pretty good.
So yeah, we can talk about those two episodes, and since it's pretty much halfway through, we can just kind of talk about how we're liking the season so far.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed this the fortune cookie episode. Night Family is also good, but it's probably my least favorite of the season so far, which isn't bad for this show standards. I don't think there's been really a bad episode yet so far. What about you?
Yes, I would agree with that. I don't think there's been a bad episode. Night Family probably my least favorite, but not by much, because I definitely really enjoyed it. It's probably the most episodic episode so far, but also I'm not sure because it seems to be setting up more of Summer's personality, which I'm not really sure about that. I guess we'll get into that, but I did enjoy it. I don't think there has been a bad episode. I really enjoyed this season. This most recent one, this fortune cookie episode, was actually really good. It was really creative. It was really funny. Definitely not the best. I think the best was probably still the first episode so far for sure. But it's been consistently good through these first 5 episodes. That's for sure.
I like having Jerry and Rick episode again. Those ones are usually pretty good.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting seeing how their relationship is now compared to what it was, and even the little bit of character development for Rick at the very end, when Jerry tells him that he's like a friend of his. Some good little character stuff, and it was quite funny with the whole family just constantly fucking with Jerry and like trying to freak him out, thinking he's gonna have sex with his mom. Incredibly fucked up, but it was quite funny. I thought Space Beth was gone, and then she just showed up in this, and then also the family just did not matter at all in this episode.
No, absolutely not.
Besides a joke at the end about it being a human zoo that I thought was actually really funny.
Yeah, that whole like zoo thing where you're talking about like the zebra food.
Yeah,
it just kept on like.
It's so random.
Like,
I don't. You see like a starving zebra in the background.
Oh no, this was a commercial telling you to come to the zoo, but now do not come to the zoo. Oh, the zebra! Look, they're so hungry. Is this the only way they get fed? That was actually pretty fun.
Then everybody's reading their fortune, be like, "Oh god, it's just a bunch of random shit." Oh, Jerry, what's yours? And he's like, "You will fuck your mother."
Everyone's like, like family time is the best time or whatever. Like work hard and things will be good. So, these are so boring. What's yours, Jerry? So, I'm gonna have sex with my mom. Wait, what?
And then, like, that fucking scene, he's, like, duct taping his dick for some reason. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen his mother as well. I didn't know he had parents, to be honest. And this is how they introduce his mother as, like, a sex object.
They were in that one Thanksgiving episode, weren't they?
Wasn't that, like, in fucking season
And the
1?
black guy is like.
Oh, yeah. I completely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
This is
Jesus
the first
Christ.
season.
That was like in fucking freshman year when I watched season 1. I have not watched season 1 since then. Holy shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Holy shit, I'm sad.
Was it an Anime Park episode? I think it was. It was, like
It was,
episode?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because there was
forgot about that. I was like, we've never even seen Jerry's parents, and then I saw the mom, and then I was like, wait, I've seen her in the show before. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess the whole A plot is this Jurassic Park ripoff, and then the B plot is just like Jerry accepting that his parents have sex with a black.
It's really weird.
Maybe this show was always weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the show. That's kind of the MO. But I think it's not the first time we've seen or heard about Jerry's parents since then. This is season 6, episode 5.
And then there was the whole thing with the guy who was like, I think, because you had never finished Peacemaker, and the whole sequence with like the giant like thing underground that's like making the fortunes was a very big. For some reason, it was a very big Peacemaker reference. I don't know. Also, aliens, a little bit, but the guy was like, I was like having sex with it or something, and he was like, "Oh, I should have totally not given my entire life to like protecting this large animal that literally is just gonna eat me."
Protecting this large animal.
And then. Oh, the scene where it's like her unfulfilled fortune is to be like the biggest businesswoman on Earth, and then Rick like immediately makes her. Yeah, and then immediately puts it back. Hello?
That was all pretty good.
Yeah. And then also the because Jerry had to like change into like a assistant outfit, and Rick had the joke. He's like, "Oh, we can use that transition again to save money." Yes, and then the next time it happens, he's like, "God, I can feel the money sip." We can reuse that for budgeting reasons.
Yeah, there were a lot of great jokes. I thought it was a very consistently funny episode. It kept me laughing pretty much most of the way through. There were some
and then
moments.
Rick,
like you said, Rick and Gary episode, they're usually pretty good.
Rick had a shootout with the Panda Express, and the whole time they just thought that he found out they had like a meth operation the whole time, and he's like, "Oh no, it's fine. You can just take that truck." And he's like, "Okay, in exchange for the truck, I will not report you." There's just like dead people around. He's like, "It's fine. It's just a trade of the business."
So yeah, whatever. It's all good.
It happens.
That was also a really well. It was also a really well animated scene. Like when he like crashes in that Panda Express, starts like killing everybody. It was really well animated, well directed animation right there. Looked really diverse throughout. Definitely really enjoyed that. Overall, this season, it's a huge uptick in quality from a lot of the stuff from season 5. I gotta say, Rick as a character has literally grown into like I don't even know, he's like a Terminator now, basically. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what I have for the picture right now. He has like multiple robotic limbs coming out.
Yeah, like when he showed up to eat, like he like Doc Ock type arms come out, and like he literally like made his head shrink into his body and come back out.
Oh
and
yeah.
He's like superhuman. Like he's completely not human anymore. I don't even know what's up with that.
I'm just waiting for the next episode to be like the sequel to the Dragon episode.
Can't wait for that.
I hope that if the trajectory keeps up, I think this will be very good.
This could end up if like we see a lot of the Rick Prime storyline in the last few episodes, this could end up being my favorite season potentially.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk. So I know you were saying that Night Family is probably your least favorite of the season. How do you feel about that episode?
I liked the whole concept. I watched it when I was sleep deprived, so I related. But it just felt like the most, not like filler. It just felt like the most, just like adventure of the week. I enjoyed the whole the Night Family making their own little group, and then basically switching the roles. And then the robots for some reason. And also the whole conflict is just because Rick doesn't want to do his dishes.
Yeah, I don't want to take 2 seconds to rinse out of this.
It's just so stupid because this whole plot line happens for 2 seconds of time. The whole summer thing with her being the leader, I feel like that's gonna be paid off later. I don't know exactly what all that means. There's a lot of smoke.
A little bit of maybe character study for Summer. It seemed like it was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
It also provided a good dynamic for the episode.
They're giving a lot of character development. I've noticed each episode's kind of had one character focus. Because I don't know. I feel like it was more focused on Rick in the beginning, and then we had a bit of Morty focused, and then of course we had the Beth episode. And this episode was focused on Jerry quite a bit. And I really love the scene where Rick notices Jerry getting bullied, and he basically sticks up for him because he doesn't, even if he's making it all up in his head, he doesn't deserve to be ridiculed. I don't know, it's just kind of weird to see him care so much about Jerry. And it's just nice to see. Yeah, I think.
I did enjoy that. I do gotta say, I really liked the visuals in that episode as well. It was really, it's one of the most unique episodes of the season so far as tone. I don't think there's been an episode of that tone the whole show. How it's just kind of it's kind of dark, and the way it starts out and all that stuff. It was just really unique, and I really liked that. It really kind of had a cheesy horror movie type feel to it. That was really enjoyable. And the story kind of went along with it.
I
thought that was all pretty cool.
I like those sequences at the end where they're basically slapping each other, and they're coming in and out of sleep and awake.
Yeah, that was really well integrated comedy for me. It added that wacky Rick and Morty spin to an otherwise pretty unique sci-fi concept, which is why I thought it was a pretty good episode. I really enjoyed it. It is probably my least favorite of the season though so far.
Yeah, I don't know what's next here. I'm trying to think. Trying to think all that happened in the episodes. I feel like there was some other things. I thought the whole going to the zoo thing was going to be important, but it really wasn't at all.
Yeah. It was just great.
And the whole sequence, of seeing his mother fucking slide down and her fucking pants break and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so wet, Jerry." I was fucking serious. I hope the incest calms down just a little bit. It's getting a little concerning.
Just a little bit too much incest, I'd say.
I usually feel like you can't have enough incest, but here's a little much.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think we're probably gonna get an incest break in the season. Hopefully, it's been a little bit too much. The next episode's called Jurassic Mort. So, something Jurassic Park related. So
Again?
Yeah, I don't know. The final episode's called Analyze Pissed, and I can't really get over it, so that's happening.
Analyze.
Analyze Pissed.
We have a season
Also,
finale episode. Big game changer, what should we call it?
Going back to that Night Family episode, the post credits, like the Night Family have taken over, and then they're like, we don't know how to pay bills. Like the bank repossessed the car, the house is next. And they're just like, yeah, we don't. There's a lot more to this that we do not understand about day life that we kind of can't handle.
But then the next episode, they have the house, so it's fine.
Yeah. They destroy the thing and then come back, and I'm like,
yeah. I have a feeling like the next few episodes are going to be episodic. I feel like, but then I feel like I think some of the last season, maybe the last like 3 episodes will be like actual story stuff. So, I mean, if they keep up this quality and then like really knock it out of the park with the last few episodes, it's a pretty good season.
yeah, absolutely. It's been really enjoyable. Definitely along for the ride. It's been good. I think we talked about this last time. My favorite season is probably season 4. Probably season 4. It had a lot of my favorite episodes in it. Seasons like 2 and 3 were like okay. Season 5 was a bit of a dip. It was probably my least favorite. But season 6 has been very promising so far. I'm excited to see where it goes. I really do love this show. I don't think it'll ever fail to make me laugh. It consistently has great character moments, even when they're in episodic formats. Whether it's small things that could be big later, so it's not always so emotionally driven. Even when it can be at times, but it's really not most of the time. But I really enjoy the balance that they have right now. So hopefully they can stay striking that balance. It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I really like seeing all the characters. It's just nice to see how much they developed and how organic it feels. Because now each of the family members actually feels very important. Because like season 5 or season 4, it kind of felt like largely the parents, and Summer were not really a focus anymore besides for like an episode or 2 a season. So it's nice that it's more of like a unit. I feel like they should have done that a long time ago. I had something I was going to say. I completely forgot.
Yeah. Well, that is definitely true. I guess we'll see if that comes back. Yeah, shaped out to be a good season, so it's just a good show.
I want
Rick
some
and
more.
Morty's been creeping around my top 10 favorite cartoons, so.
Yeah, what's some more Rick Prime and Evil Morty story, and maybe some Bird Person story. I think would be good.
That's true. We haven't seen anything from Bird Person yet, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. Also, there's like interesting stuff that like you don't really notice it until you like think about it. But even stuff like the whole Roy game from like episode 2, I think. Like ever since that episode, you haven't really seen Morty disagree or get an argument with Rick. So there's like interesting stuff being set up there. I think Johnny Tuccello's talked about that episode, and he said it could be like a very interesting in like a future season if that like storyline comes back up. It causes some conflict. So they're setting up some things here I like. We'll have to see where it goes. But I'm not really expecting the next few episodes here to be really big plot focused. But, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It is exciting. It looks like hopefully they've been building up a lot, and hopefully like a lot of things are going to come full circle for this season. That would really just put the cherry on top, so to speak. But yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. I guess we'll like it when we talk about Rick and Morty, so I guess we can continue to do that. I'm definitely that's off topic right now, so.
once the season's probably done, we'll probably do a tier list or a ranking or something. So we'll see. Ride that hype train.
Absolutely.
Because we want your money. I'm just kidding. We're making nothing from this.
True.
Views have been crazy though. I don't know what happened there, but I do like it.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, but do you want to?
Unless you have anything else,
You want to move on to the next thing?
I was gonna say, unless you have anything else, we could talk about our next thing, which definitely won't be as popular. But as horror fans would know, the new Hellraiser film, the 11th in the franchise, is coming out this Friday on Hulu, and I'm very excited to watch it. So this week we were wanting to talk about the original film from '87.
Yeah, 87.
87, I believe. Which is it's a movie that I've really enjoyed for a very long time. And I've always one that I saw at a very young age, so stuck with me as one of those horror classics that I know about. Pinhead, the primary antagonist, is obviously very, very well known in horror culture. So Hellraiser. The series. It's kind of infamous now for being a series of 10 movies with like 7 direct-to-DVD stuff and all that, and it's just kind of ridiculous. But this original film, it's pretty unique for the most part. It's really out there. It's kind of disturbing. There's got a lot of elements to it. There's definitely a lot to it. But I've always enjoyed it. I know you just watched it for the first time, so what were your thoughts on it, Matthew?
Yes, I watched it last night. I've heard about this movie a lot. A lot of people really love it, especially the first two. So yeah, it's the first time I actually sat down and watched the whole thing. And honestly, it's okay. I feel like it has a lot of problems when it comes to the characters. I think the story's good. I like the themes. I love the effects. Besides the I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the thing in the hallway where you see clearly that it's on wheels, like in every scene it's in. It's a little ridiculous. Yeah. I love the whole puzzle box and the Cenobites and Pinhead, of course. Yeah, I just think the writing is a bit half baked and clunky when it comes to the whole like I forgot his name, the brother coming back and the whole like affair storyline and like bringing a bunch of men to this house. It just kind of felt like it was going on for too long. And I knew Pinhead wasn't in this much, but I feel like he definitely wasn't used much at all, like less than 5 minutes. And he's like the face of the franchise instantly, and he's the least in it. So, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely get a lot more Pinhead later on. Even in like the next movie, a lot more of the Cenobites and Pinhead himself, which they're definitely very cool characters. So that's nice to see. With this original film, it's always tough for me to decide if this one's my favorite or the second one's my favorite because they're not exceptional by any means. I wouldn't give them incredible ratings, but I do enjoy them both quite a bit, and they're actually drastically different. Actually, all 3 of the original trilogy are all very different, which actually I can appreciate. I think that's why it's worked so well, just those first 3 movies. This original, it's creepy. It's got a pretty good atmosphere, I'd say. It's got some effects that are good here and there. They can be kind of spotty. Obviously, they have some visual errors throughout that can be noticeable. Like as you said, it's your first time really viewing it, and you're able to notice some of those things. As far as the overall story, it's definitely spotty at best. It's interesting premise, and it's got a good hook to it. Um, but the characters are so weirdly written, and like not like in they're weird characters, but in the sense that it just feels clunky throughout. Um, which isn't a negative the entire time, but it's definitely noticeable, especially on repeat viewings. Every time I see it, though, I can't help but enjoy the novelty of it. I do really like the overall concept. I think it's really well done. Clive Barker clearly had a really good mind for that type of thing. And this is the only one he directed, so he served as a producer on quite a few of the other ones. I can't remember, like 3 or 4 of the others. So,
Yeah, and he is involved with this newest one, I believe.
yeah, he has a producer credit on this new one coming out on Friday. So,
Yeah, which has, I don't know if you've seen, but it looks like the new one's actually gotten good reviews so far, which is surprising for this franchise.
yeah, it's not typically a trend that you see very often for a movie in this franchise getting praised.
Well, there's also the biggest, the biggest thing that I think is talked about when it comes to the whole series is that, like, after the 4th one, up until, like, the last one, literally every single script wasn't even initially a Hellraiser script.
Yeah, a lot of them were movies that were scripts that different. I don't know if it was the same studio or different ones, but they're just scripts for movies that got canceled, and then they used those scripts and just made them Hellraiser movies, which is just not how to make the best and most cohesive franchise, and also very stupid.
Yeah, I haven't watched any other ones. I've seen reviews on them before. It's kind of entertaining to watch people review the series and just like see them like slowly just descend into fucking despair. Especially when they get to like Revelations and Hellworld and Deader, of course.
Dude, Hellraiser Deader, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but like you said, good plot. It's just a bit flimsy. I can definitely tell that Clive Barker does not direct much because it feels a bit amateur in the directing. There was like this weird, awkward like sex scene that like I get the point of it in the plot. It just was kind of weird and it went on for too long. And there was a lot of imagery and symbolism to the comparison of pain and pleasure and how it's like kind of blurring that line between the two, which is pretty unique. I've never seen a movie really tackle that kind of stuff before.
Yeah, it's definitely something that like started with this movie. It became pretty big in pop culture. You know, it's just kind of like that thing, like, oh, the pain actually equals pleasure. They actually did do that. They had that Rick and Morty episode last season about that and how like they went in the confusing route with it, with all like, oh, this is really annoying, but that means I like it, and like this is enjoyable, which means it actually is terrible. Like, just why is everything all flip flopped like that? But it is actually really interesting to see, especially when you apply it to cool characters like Pinhead, who could be so menacing. Even though he isn't used as much in this original film, he's still, well, I guess it's still a very interesting character. Doug Bradley absolutely killed it. Very menacing, very intimidating.
Yeah, every line he says.
I can understand why he's such an iconic character.
Every line he says, especially when like you get to that third act, he's a presence, and he leaves quite the impression on you for even the short runtime he's in. And you can clearly tell why he became kind of like the front head of the franchise after this. Because I know it was kind of an initial thing where I can't remember the names of the characters besides Chrissy, I think is her name. I do like Chrissy, I think is her name. She was good. She was a good final girl. But the like stepmom and the brother, I think they were kind of supposed to be the villains of the series because I think they're in the second one. But everybody just loved
Yeah.
Pinhead so much that in the third one they basically just like made it like a Pinhead kills everyone movie. Um, well, Pinhead takes New York.
Yeah, that's the right. That's the direction they go.
Yeah, and then whatever the hell. Bloodline's like a fucking like time travel in space movie. Really jumped the shark early there, putting Pinhead in space. Um, I still can't get over how there was almost a Pinhead versus Michael Myers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and they actually went to like Clive Barker and John Carpenter and like were okay with telling them their plans. God, I would feel so insulted. That's just me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
after actually watching one of these movies, it makes no sense how, even if I owned the rights to both, I'd be like, you know what, a Hellraiser Halloween movie, that just feels like they would vibe really well. Um, that just
So
would.
you know what makes the most sense, honestly? If Pinhead and Michael Myers went up against each other, because that's a match made in heaven right there. Just makes the most sense.
Yeah. Um, the effects of
Yeah.
the brother coming back from death was it was really gross effects, but I oddly could not look away. It's kind of weird. Like everything that was like grotesque and disgusting in this movie that like made me feel like, in a sense, like violated or just kind of like disturbed. I couldn't really look away. In a way, it was still art, but it just really like unsettled me. It's like gore, but in like a, I can't really think of the right word, but it's not like in like a Saw way, or it just feels like it's for shock factor. It just kind of feels like it's meant to make me feel like disturbed, but it has like reason in the story. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. It's the most effective that way for sure. I think that's what makes it work. That's what makes the whole movie work. Really, it has effects and moments like that are very disturbing, but they don't feel unnecessary. They don't feel disturbing just for the sake of being disturbing. I feel like there's some substance to it, but it does still get under your skin, especially if you're a bit more sensitive to that type of stuff because it's pretty freaky. It is a bit dated, and it's clear that they didn't have the highest budget. And also the performances throughout the film are not the most exceptional. They don't really sell it, but they do. There are some good ones, some not as good. Uh, and then overall, it's just it definitely it's really freaky. I also gotta say I do like the sound design of this film. It has a pretty good overall score, and the sound I did enjoy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I see how this is a classic of the genre, and I definitely enjoyed it. It's just not really, uh, it's not like a perfect movie or anything. Um, it's solid for
Yeah, no.
sure, and it's a good Halloween movie, and really unique like source material here. And
Yeah,
I haven't seen
definitely
this.
see why it's a classic.
I haven't seen the sequels, but I know Hellraiser 2 greatly like goes into the actual world of the Cenobites, and that honestly sounds pretty interesting. So this is a good like introduction movie. I feel it's just unfortunate that the franchise did not really accomplish anything successful after this movie for the most part. Because just like this, like the whole like lore of this first movie, just feels like there's so much stories you could tell uh, that both could have like continued after this movie or even taken place before this movie, and it just kind of feels like the franchise just kind of kept turning its wheels over and over again um, with these terrible scripts. But this first movie was good.
Yeah, it is a slippery slope after this first one. Well, it's I gotta say, like I kind of touched on earlier, this I kind of consider the first three to be like their own trilogy because they're the three good ones in my mind, but they're also, I mean, not necessarily good, but especially compared to the rest of the franchise, but also uh, they're different, but they're not different enough so you could tell that that there was intent behind all three that was to be loyal to what it's trying to be with the original story. But at the same time, they're different enough in tone and style that like they really feel like different horror movies because this first Hellraiser, it's very it's a bit more of a it's a bit more like it's like a weird methodical, like it has like disturbing elements to it. Then the second one is still disturbing, but it's more about like the weird, like crazy mystical elements of the world of the Cenobites, and like actual like hell as it, what this version of hell is for these movies. And then the third one is like a straight up like slasher to the point of a ton of people dying in gory, horrible deaths on screen. And I like the different directions that they all take. They're all really enjoyable, and I definitely would like to revisit them. And then there's 7 others after that, and the only one worth revisiting is probably Inferno, but even that one's not very good, so.
Yeah, didn't Scott Derrickson direct that one?
Yeah, it's directed by the same guy who did
Sinister.
Doctor Strange and Black Phone. Did Hellraiser Inferno.
And Sinister.
And Sinister.
Do you like Sinister? I don't think I've ever actually asked you that.
It's okay. It's like
The home video stuff is fucked up.
Yeah. Pretty much everything Scott Derrickson has done is like anywhere from like a 3 to 6 range. And usually like a 5 for me.
Yeah, like everybody really raved about the Black Phone. I liked it. It wasn't like amazing or anything.
Yeah, it was fine. Not really one of my favorites. It's around number 30 in my ranking of the year so far, so it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have too much more to say about Hellraiser specifically. I mean, we're gonna cover the new one next week. It looks promising. They said it doesn't wipe the first movie from continuity, so I have no idea what the storyline's going to be there. But I'm excited to see what that is all about. I feel like if they get a pretty focused story, they can explore a lot of unique things here. Yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see. Again, the new one is just called Hellraiser again. My favorite trend in horror. But
yeah, it is weird to think about how there's 10 movies in this franchise. This is the first one to just do the title Hellraiser again.
Yeah, they had fucking Deader.
Yeah.
Fucking Hellraiser Deader. Fucking Hell World.
Dude, oh my god. Hellraiser Deader, Hell World, Hell Seeker.
Like, who the fuck is naming these? Also, there was one year where like 2 of them came out, wasn't it? There was one year like I think it was fucking Deader and like Hellworld came out in the same year.
Yeah, Deader and Hellworld both came out in 2005. So.
Which is a fucking horrific year. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Little did I know, I was a fucking 2-year-old just chilling when like this fucking terrible thing was happening. God.
I wasn't old enough to realize.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I recommend this one. It's a good watch. Maybe you'll like it more than I did.
It's definitely a classic for a good reason. I can see why it would be. It definitely deserves to be. It's got an interesting concept, and it goes as far as it really needs to. Nothing exceptional, but it'd be a good watch for Halloween this year if you haven't seen it.
The ending was a bit anticlimactic in the way that this like guy that's like been dating the main teenage girl character like the whole movie kind of. He just kind of like shows up to the house and like sees all this stuff going on, and he doesn't like react at all. he just like keeps running about the house until they just get out and like they wander the streets, and that did like a hobo just like turns into a dragon, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? There's like this weird like hobo side plot where he like eats like animals in like a pet store, and it's like I don't really see the reason for this in here at all. Because this movie also is barely an hour and a half.
Yeah, not very long. Which
I
is
know.
another thing I think works in its favor, because if this movie was too long, it would definitely drag on way too much.
Yeah, I know it's based off a book, which I have not read, so.
I also have not read.
Which Clive Barker also wrote. I'm assuming it's fucking horrific to read, like the fucking content in it, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a product of its time. But it's good. I recommend it. But honestly, if this new one really goes all in on being the best possible movie it can, I might honestly like the new one better than this one. This one's a good starting off point, I feel, so I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5, something like that.
Yeah. It's definitely a little nostalgic for me. I always have a place in my heart. I do enjoy it. So I give it a 6 out of 10. Would recommend to horror fans for sure, especially if you haven't seen, because it is definitely a classic. I also recommend the second and third. They go down in quality a bit, but they're still enjoyable horror film watches, actually, for sure. Absolutely for sure. Well,
And also, if you have Amazon Prime, the first 2 are completely free to watch. So
yeah. True. So yeah. But that's probably all I've got for that. I don't know if you have anything else, but
I saw Smile. Excellent film.
was it?
It was fine. A weird ending, but like the concept was surprisingly well executed compared to what I thought the trailer looked like. Because the trailer was fucking awful.
Yeah, the trailer was horrible.
It felt like a fucking parody movie. I was like, I'm not fucking seeing that. And I saw like reviews actually saying it was like scary, or like it was like decent-ish, and I was like really shocked. And
Yeah.
it was fine.
Well,
Yeah.
I might see it this week, which if I do, I mean, we could probably talk about it for a little bit next week if you want.
Yeah, there's some good horror elements there, some unique concepts with what they're doing there, but yeah, I think I don't think you'll hate it. I think you'll be okay with it. Better than some other horror that's come out recently. So, I guess so. Did you see the new Ends trailer that came out like a little bit ago? Yeah, what'd you think?
I did.
What'd you think of that? Definitely.
I mean, I'm pretty excited for the movie. I don't know how good this is gonna be. I don't know how high my expectations or hopes are. I did get my tickets, which I'll have to let you know and talk to you about that. But I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I really don't know what to expect. I know it's pretty much confirmed there's gonna be a copycat killer, and now with this I mean, it's just like
it's definitely yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope it's executed well, so in the right way. I did like this trailer more than the first one, so I'm mainly waiting.
Yeah,
I'm mainly waiting on that soundtrack. So
I would say it did get me a bit more excited. So. Yeah. We'll see. It's not very far from coming out. I'm definitely not as excited as I was for Kills. Maybe that's because of how Kills turned out. I don't know, but
yeah, it's weird. It's been like a whole year since that whole experience. And it's weird how much stuff can change in a year. So, but yeah, this is gonna be the last time I'll get to see one of these movies probably for a good bit. Because I don't really.
I'm gonna enjoy the experience. So
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hate it. I just hope it sticks the landing. So, and also waiting for that score. I'm gonna enjoy that for a while now. Um, it will be a shame not to be excited for a new John Carpenter Halloween score, probably ever again. So.
That's true. This is very likely to be the last one. So.
Yeah, last time for Jamie Lee and the whole crew of this new one, this whole trilogy. So, I just hope it's a good little wrap up here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, next week we'll be covering the new Hellraiser, and then I think after that, we actually have a bit to do this month when it comes to releases. Yeah, because the week after that we can cover. Yeah, next week, the week after we cover Hellraiser, we can cover Ends, and then the week after that we can cover Black Adam if we see it. So
Oh, yeah.
that's also coming out soon. I keep forgetting.
October's got it stacked.
Does it?
I guess.
And like Across the Spider-Verse just come out in like 4 days.
Yeah, it's coming out in July.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, we could have been like a week away from a new Spider-Verse movie, but instead we're like 7 months, 10 months.
10 months, yeah. It'd be too bad if a solar flare hit our Earth and completely like took out all electricity forever.
Yeah, that would suck.
Just be like my family starving because I was just like, I didn't get my fucking Spider-Verse movie. The fuck is this?
Like everybody like perishing painfully. Me, I was promised Cross the Spider-Verse. That's it. Almost too.
Bro, fucking solar flare could take out the entire goddamn power grid, and the fucking Rick and Morty fans would still be like, is the next season gonna be in a year or 2 years? Can we please keep the production going?
There's more Mr. Poopy Bubble content.
I need more incest, please.
This is what the show is based on. They finally got incest right. I
don't like the term of getting incest right. So.
Yeah.
I don't really know what
I can't believe that.
a good way to describe correct incest would be. This is the correct way you completely and utterly fuck your sister.
What?
What? I was trying to think of that one line of Hellraiser that fucking Pinhead said that was so good. There's so many of them.
I know. He's such a great character. There's so many moments that are just so.
I feel like there was a character that was like, go to hell, and then he was like, oh. He said something. I don't remember. Yeah.
A lot of really iconic moments. Really, really enjoy it.
Yeah. But we will see you guys the next week. That's the hope, at least. So. But yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's all I got. So if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment your thoughts down below. Let us know anything you want us to cover. We've never gotten a recommendation, obviously, but if we did, it'd be very cool, though.
For real. But
it's been real. It's been fun. It ain't been real fun.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Have a good day or night wherever you are. And go watch Hellraiser Deader.
Yeah, just Deader. You can ignore the rest of the franchise.
Yeah. What was that joke you'd always say? It'd be like a direct sequel to like Hellraiser Deader.
Yeah, it was like, so the next one's going to be Hellraiser Deadest, which is going to be the same company of Hellraiser, Hellraiser 3, Hellraiser Deader, then this is the fourth film of that timeline. So ignore other films. It's deadest, and then of course after that's gonna be more dead.
Hellraiser more dead.
Yes, Hellraiser dead, the best that dead.
Makes sense. Alright. Well, we'll see you guys. Have a good one.